Hello everybody out in YouTube land, it's me again. Haven't made a video in a while, picking on liberals. Today, going to get me some Jersey Mikes. I'm going to pick on liberals again. So, we're going to start with the first thing. A couple things today. Number one, gas prices. Yes, it's Joe Biden's fault. Because I don't know if you realize this or not, but there's a thing called supply and demand. Well, you see, let's just say, for instance, that there's 100 units of supply and 100 units of demand. Then everything's even and the price really doesn't move very much. But let's say you have 101 units of supply and 100 units of demand. Well, the price goes down a little bit so that they don't sit on that one unit. See, this is what happened under Donald Trump when we were a net exporter of oil and energy resources. I say mined or drilled, in the case of oil, more oil than the country needed in this country. They drilled that much in this country than this country needed. So we supplied ourselves and we sold it overseas and the price went down. We had more units of supply than we had demand. Now, let's say if you're at 100 and 100 and then you lose some of your supply, like, I don't know, supplier, let's just say, for instance, Russia, suddenly isn't supplying some of that oil, then you have more demand than supply. Well, here's a funny thing. The supply doesn't have to come from that source. Let's say we drilled more oil here, or let's say had, I don't know, this is just weird, a pipeline from Canada bringing in 100 million barrels, whatever the time frame is when they brought that much in, then it would increase the supply to make up for the lost supply, so we get back to that 100 units, or maybe even back to a net exporter again if we drill on top of bringing in that, I don't know, let's just put a name to it so we have something to reference to as an idea. Let's call it the Keystone Pipeline. You remember that, so if we reference it again, you know what our example is. So if you had this pipeline bringing in oil that replaced the oil that was taken away from one of the sources of supply, it would back offset that so you wouldn't have the price increases again. That's how supply and demand works. Now, I know there's a bunch of stupid liberals out there going to say, but you just don't understand. Those mean, evil, nasty gas companies and oil companies, they won't go out there and drill extra oil because it keeps the price up and then they make more money. You're right. That didn't happen under Trump. We weren't a net exporter under Trump less than 2 years ago. I've heard that from liberals. You people are actual morons. We have an actual example less than 2 years ago where, yes, they did drill more and net export it. Well, I just say that because I'm a liberal. It makes me smart, and I'm just going to say it so that it makes some evil companies dumb. No, they will drill, as proven by, as evidenced by, as I learned in nursing school. You nurses just laughed. Yes, that was proven that, no, that's not the case. If they are turned loose, yes, they will drill. They have done it. So, anyway, there's that. So basically, here's the thing. And it's really funny. Biden is refusing to do anything that is... Oh, one more point to cover. I know this from the mining business. Oil, gas, mining, any leases on what they call BLM or public land, like the old leases that Biden just canceled, they come in 20-acre blocks. And let's say BP Oil Company, just represented by, I would call it something else, we won't use actual example, like AB Oil Company, I think there might be oil in that spot right there because there's oil that they found around there, and then I can get in on it and I can go get some oil too and make some money. Well, they can't just go out there and start drilling on that land, or at least testing even. They have to file for the claim or lease on that land, and then they're allowed to go drill. Generally, because they come in 20-acre blocks, they put multiple leases in one area. In other words, they'll congruently connect 500 leases together for the total of the land mass, or 50 or whatever. And then it's different in the mining because you're going after big gold claims or silver claims. But they put that, so what you'll have is 50 leases in one spot. They go do testing out there. They don't find profitably mineable, or again, and as a drillable oil, so they don't go out there and drill in that space. Oh, well, they got all these leases that they're not using. Well, there's no oil on those lands, you dummies. You can't go out there and test to find out if there's oil there until you actually pay for the lease and get that land, so that you don't have 2 or 3 companies out there trying to test one site. You lock it down with the lease. And that's why there's a bunch of leases out there that are unused. They're not using the leases they got. Well, guess what? There's no freaking oil on the land those leases are on, but they have to get the lease to find out, you damn morons. I mean, it's like, you people are so stupid. It's like you try to make an argument. Well, I'm just going to say this, and it's smart, and I'm a liberal, and that makes it true. When you have no clue what you're talking about, you're absolutely incorrect and wrong, and you're all morons.